Welcome to the DisabiliTEA, a podcast where we have candid discussions about all things related to disability. Short-term, long-term, financial claims, impact on other areas of life, causes in the workplace, and more. With your host, attorney Anjel Burgess. You can find this show at www.disabilityhelpline.com and on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. Now here's the host of the DisabiliTEA, Anjel Burgess.
Hello and welcome to the DisabiliTEA. Today we are so excited. We've got a special guest with us. We have Megan Cortjens, who is the Executive Director at Our Place. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I know we've got a lot of really great information to share with our audience, so I want to just dive right in and start talking about Our Place.
Okay, awesome.
First, what is Our Place?
Yes, the number one question that we always get, and I always say too, for people looking, we do join Our Place. Our Place, if you just go to ourplace.com, it's like pots and pans.
Okay.
But Our Place is a technology company that helps families who are caring for somebody with disabilities navigate all of the obstacles that can come with that for every stage of life. So we help families from diagnosis all the way through that transition into adulthood and preparing for what's going to happen after the parent or the loved one is unable to care for them. And so we really help them for every stage of life.
Wonderful. Where are you all located?
So I am located in Atlanta, but the great thing about our resources is because we use technology, we help families all over the country. So we help them access their resources and connect with others, no matter what state they're in.
Okay, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So why was Our Place started?
So I myself have two siblings who have disabilities, and they are hidden disabilities and very rare. And so I watched my parents figure out a way to navigate IEPs and try to make the decision on, do we do guardianship? Do we not? And because it is so rare, there weren't a lot of, they looked in other states for other resources when there actually were resources right here in Atlanta. And so watching them go through that experience and kind of just knowing what technology can do nowadays.
Right.
My dad is actually one of the co-founders. We knew that there was a better way to help these families, especially given their experiences.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how do families find out about you?
So we do a lot of, word of mouth, and we've been featured on some amazing podcasts and news stations and stuff like that. One great way that people have been able to find us is we have a lot of experts on our page that families can connect with one-on-one if they need help with a specific topic. Like you are going to be one of our experts, and people have been able to find us through Googling, I need an IEP advocate or I need a guardianship attorney, and they're on our expert page. And so they've been able to find us through that as well.
Wonderful. So once a family finds you, how do they get access to your resources? Like, do they pay, or how does it work?
So we are just actually announcing that through the end of the year, we are completely free for families. Now you can, yes, we're very excited about that. We wanted to remove any obstacle that was there for parents to be able to access our resources. There's a couple options. They can go and access all of our resources in our knowledge center just by going to our website, searching for what they need. they will have an option to give us a little bit of information, which allows us to push information directly to them based on that need.
Okay.
So if you came and you needed a lot of help with IEPs right now, if you put in your email address and tell us, I need help with IEPs, about over the next 4 to 6 weeks, you'll have content show up directly in your inbox based on that need. That way you're not having to go looking for it.
Right.
It's an option if you just want to go and see 10 videos all at once. But sometimes that can be overwhelming. So we wanted to ease them into it.
Okay. So you are then sending, the parent or the family member, whomever, information directly needed or directly related to what they need and what
Yes.
they're looking for.
Yeah, and we have anything from video interviews that's going to kind of provide parents with information based on that need that can help prepare them for that situation. But we also have, like I said, the ability to one-on-one connect with other individuals if you need that extra help with that situation. And then on top of that, we know so many people in the disability community are on Medicaid. And it's really hard to find a Medicaid provider. So utilizing our places, we call it, you can go there, you can type in your zip code, what kind of provider you're looking for, and it will pull up everyone in your area that meets those filters.
Well,
So
that's huge.
yeah, we're really trying to help families know that there are options for them in their own communities, to hopefully make them not feel so isolated. Because this community is big, and we want to be able to connect all of those people.
Sure. And so if a family, let's say they go to the website, they have a question, they watch a video, and then they're like, okay, so I have a good idea of what it is that I need, or perhaps what I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I need some additional help. Like I need to be able to connect with an attorney. How does that work from that point?
Yeah, so you can go to our Knowledge Center, type in the topic that you're looking for. Everything around that topic pops up. And then if you are interested in meeting with that individual one-on-one, you can go over to our experts page and just request we say book me now. And so you request a meeting with them. And then our team will make the introduction. We have them fill out the specific request on that form. That way we can send all of that information to the expert. So like in your case, if somebody needed assistance with Social Security, they could watch your interview and go, okay, I'm going to need to have this, this, and this. I really would like to meet with her. They can submit their questions, and then they'll be connected with you through our team.
Okay. What a great resource, and now a free resource.
Yes.
That's available. That's amazing. I know that that's one of the issues, when I talk with families, they're trying to figure out where the resources are. Where can I find this kind of provider that accepts Medicaid? Where can I provide A, B, and C? So it sounds like you all have it just kind of like a one-stop shop.
That's the goal. And we have a lot of things that we're going to be developing out to hopefully expand what our offerings are, especially in the Our Places map, to include anything from barber shops to swim lessons to summer camps, and really anything and everything that families would need.
Great. So I know that you all have a lot of contact with families. And so you're aware of what a lot of the needs and challenges are, and even from a personal level.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the biggest issue or challenge that you see facing families in this community?
I would say when families initially get that diagnosis or when they're hitting a life milestone, it's all of a sudden like you're drinking from a fire hose. And it sometimes feels like, oh, your child has this diagnosis. Here is a 300-page book of some things for their life. Good luck. See you again, never. So, there are so many resources out there to families and so many businesses that want to support this community. And families don't know about it because it's just not consumable to them. It's given out in form of 500 landing pages of different PDFs, or I always hear about the Google rabbit hole that families go down. And that's what, we're trying to do. We want to use technology to, what we say, meet families where they are and give them the information that they need based on the stage of life that they're in, to hopefully prepare families better for the future that way as well.
Right. I mean, I think that's a really great point that you make, is that there is information out there. Sometimes too much information, right? There's so much information that you don't know. I got all these things laid out in front of me, but where do I start? Like, what's the first thing I need to do? I have no idea because there's so much information.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think it's great. You all really help simplify that and say, okay, we're going to point you in the right direction. We're not just going to give you the information, but we'll help you figure out this is where you need to start.
And we're hoping too, even I think you're such a great example. Like when you go through a process, especially when an attorney is needed, it could be so beneficial to everyone involved to be able to hear from that person prior to meeting with them. Of, this is what this process is going to be like. These are some things that you need to have ready. And then meeting with them. And that way, when they're coming to you, they're maybe less nervous about the situation and also coming in a little bit more prepared, which is probably going to help the whole process go quicker and smoother. Hopefully have less denials and everything that you can get denied from. And so we're just really doing that by working with as many people as we can.
Absolutely. And I think being, kind of educated about what to expect or what you need, it helps take a lot of the stress off as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
It helps to not feel so overwhelmed because okay, I have a nice overview as to what's going to happen or what needs to happen. And I know that I need to go to this person or this type of professional to help kind of guide me through the process.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and some of the processes too, I always use the example for waiver. It can be a long, daunting process. And the parents who have been through the process are really the experts on it. I mean, they are going to be able to tell another family what their experience was and how they prepared for it and what they did wrong. And we want to give families that platform to be able to share their experiences in hopes of helping thousands of other people. Again, because, if we always say if one person has a need or a question or whatever it is, you probably have hundreds of other people that have the same question. And their experiences are all going to be able to help one another.
That's very true. So with a family that, has, let's say, a child with a disability, they've been diagnosed, at any point in time, right, they can reach out, or they should reach out or go to the website and just kind of start looking around, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have some great, especially for those families that are coming in with a new diagnosis. We have a great article on Diagnose Now What.
Okay.
And the first step is my favorite. It's rest is what it is, because you just need to take a breath, Your life just changed.
Right.
And that was done with somebody that we partner with that does therapy for families in the disability community. And so she's done some great content. And we also have one of our experts does support groups for moms. And so being able to get connected quickly with a support group of other people who are in the same stage, same position, is definitely a big need. And so we have resources for that too.
That's great. And I don't think there's enough emphasis on that, right? The emphasis is always on, the child or the loved one that has a disability, and the caregiver, the family member, is often forgotten in that equation. So I think it's great that, kind of the first step in that, there's been a diagnosis. Now what is rest? Like,
Right.
just rest.
Yeah.
And then you got to get your plan together, and look at resources that are available to you as the parent or the family member or the caregiver.
Yes. What do they say? They say it all the time, just to moms in general, is you need to be the best version of yourself to be the best mom. And that involves taking care of yourself too. And so much in this community, like you said, it's the therapy is for the child and the cost, and you got to do this and you got to do this and you got to do this. And we really want to try to emphasize too, take care of yourself. Because that's just as important, to be able to be the best version of yourself for your child and the person that you're caring for.
So true.
I know you're a mom, so you understand that.
I am a mom, so I definitely understand that. Definitely understand that. So really there's no, and I know we've kind of talked about the new diagnosis, right? But even for families that have been dealing with, care and support for years, there's still resources for them that are just as important at whatever stage they are in terms of, kind of life and providing for their loved one.
Yes, definitely. We actually have a ton of resources for that age out of high school period, because you see a lot of drop off in organizations that serve that community, and for that stage of life. And so we have anything from a parenting series where you can hear other parents talk about their journey of after 22, to employers on, can your child work and what that would look like, or what about a day program or a residential facility, setting up tours, really preparing the family and the child for what's going to happen, because we always say there are a lot of options, and the whole world is not crashing down at that age. It can so much feel like that, but we're here to tell you there are so many options for families as they age out of school.
That's great to know, and that's great to kind of remind, our listeners and viewers that the support doesn't stop just because, a certain milestone has been reached. There's still plenty of resources available to you. So I'm glad that you all really focus on that as well.
Yeah, we have even had siblings. We had a brother who was came to us, and he has now cared for his brother longer than his parents have, because his parents have been gone for so long. And he used our resources to obtain guardianship. He used our resources to fully go through the waiver process in Georgia and get him on the wait list. And we have been able to help him tremendously, because we also realize, siblings are a part of this community too. And a lot of times they're taking over the responsibility as that caregiver once those parents are gone. So that's why we really emphasize that we are helping the loved one, because we know that that can be a grandparent, a neighbor. It doesn't have to just be a parent.
Parent.
Yeah.
So if there are any tools or nuggets that you would like to share with our viewers or listeners, what would they be?
Yes. So especially as we grow out the Our Places map, because not all of this is available yet. And so I always say, like, fill out a form on our website or hope that they listen to programs like this. But a lot of businesses and people's communities have fantastic offerings for the disability community. They just don't know how to market it in a way because I mean it's a tough thing to do. I mean, it's kind of a gray area. And so I always encourage families, if you're looking for anything like swim lessons is always my biggest example. There is a swim school franchise called Aqua Tots.
Yes.
They have 144 locations. Yeah, my son goes there. I love it. They have a great program for the disability community. Children can go participate in their group swim lessons. And then if it's not a good environment, they actually offer a discount off their private swim lessons to be able to create a good environment for your child. And you see a lot of businesses will do things like that. And so check with your neighborhood and your local businesses before driving an hour because you know of a swim school that works for the disability community because sometimes they're right in your own backyard. So hopefully, and then let us know about them if you find one that we don't know about because we also always like to get the word out there to all families. Yeah.
Great. So that really kind of to me brings up a great point that sometimes you just have to ask, right? Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not available. Oftentimes it is available.
Yep.
But it's just not something that's publicized.
Right.
So it's great that you all have taken the time to try to make sure that, hey, if there's a resource that we know about, we want to make sure that, everyone in the community has access to this information. And as new information comes in, share it.
Yeah.
So that more people can take advantage of it. So.
Yeah, I always say I see so many Facebook posts that's like, I need a recommendation for this. And then I feel bad because 10 more people post and then they don't see that post. So we really want to, that's why we say, if there's a business that you've loved, let us know so we can put it on the map to let other families know, especially if they're traveling here. Yeah. I mean, you have families in the disability community going to out of town to places they're not familiar with.
Right.
And so being able to help those families too, it would be such a beneficial and helpful thing.
All right. That is great. That is a great tip. And one other thing that I just wanted to point out is that it doesn't matter what the disability is or what the condition is, right? They can benefit from using the resources regardless.
Yes. Yep. We have anything like IEPs. A large percentage of our kids in the school system are on IEPs, whether you have ADHD to, autism. So it really can be anything and everything. Yeah.
Right. And lastly, how can the families reach out to you?
So if you go to joinourplace.com, you will be able to access all of the resources for free, which we're excited about. There's an email on there for our team at the bottom. I think it's like Sophie@joinourplace.com. But we built this community so it is easily consumable and easy to use for families. So if you go to Our Places and you don't see something that on the map that you're looking for, there's just a form. Hey, I need this. Okay. You see a business that you like it, you just fill it out. So all of the contact information on how to reach out to us if you need something that you don't see is right there on the website.
All right. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Megan, for joining us, for telling us about the fantastic resources available to the community through Our Place. So we're so happy to have you with us, and really want to emphasize to everyone watching or listening that this is a fantastic resource for you. No matter what stage you are, your loved one is in life, this is a fantastic resource that is now free.
Yes.
That you should utilize.
Yes, we're excited, and we hope to help as many people as we can. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. This has been another episode of the DisabiliTEA, and we look forward to talking with you next time.
You've been listening to the DisabiliTEA with Anjel Burgess. Thank you for your positive reviews, comments, and sharing the show with others. You can catch prior episodes at www.disabilityhelpline.com and on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more.